Okay, and for Istanbul, we chose to talk about the question of identity within the young of Turkey, you know.
Yani yeni Türk neslinin kimlik problemiyle ilgili bir konuşma olacak.
Because in relation with European Union and Islam, modernization, changes, reforms, all that. Okay.
Avrupa, İslamizasyon,
Anladım.
So that's why we invited Ferhat, because you are the president of Youth European Federalist, right? And you, because you are Guillem's uncle, and the director, we wanted to invite an artist, so you are, so that's very nice, and maybe in your films you show the changes of society.
Evet.
That's the idea.
You as a young Turkish citizen, how do you observe the other young people here in Turkey since what we mentioned, the adhesion process of Turkey to the EU? How do you stand? Was there a movement from the youth to try to make Turkey enter the EU, or was the Turkish youth against this integration? Were there movements? Were there actions? And if not, did you try to impart such actions as a president of the Young European Federates? Because I can imagine that as a president of such an organization, you're also kind of motivated by this integration.
Yes. Actually, I want to talk first of all about myself. I believe in that integration. I think Turkey should apply to acquis communautaire, and we should make all the reforms, all the changes that Europe is showing us, because we don't have another system which works. We don't have another example in this time, because our constitution is from like 100 years. Our constitution is 100 years old. Our education system is from like 70 years old, and Europe is a good example to follow. And
is this shared by other young people, or is it just a part of the young population who thinks that?
I think yes, generally young people in Turkey, they also believe that this Europe is changing, changing Turkey in a positive way.
In a good way.
Yes, in a good way. And
in which kind of values, or which kind of influence is good for Turkey? According to them, you said you talked about the education system, but there are other things. What kind of values do the Turkish want to take from the EU, or to benefit from it?
I think Turkish youth still didn't understand the meaning of Europe. I don't think this is a big mistake of Turkish youth in Turkey, because they don't understand. Because European youth, they also don't understand what Europe is all about.
If you say that the young Turkish don't understand the EU, I suppose that you understand the EU because of your involvement. So are you trying to create such a movement that Turkish young people understand the EU and want to make efforts to protect EU integration?
Yes, our main aim in ZEP is informing young people about European values. What are they like? Okay. Like human rights, like democracy, like participatory citizenship, like active citizenship, European citizenship, these kind of things we are trying to work on and try to explain young people, but this needs a big process. It needs we need a long period to understand it. We still don't know even the definitions. And we are trying to explain these kind of definitions, and we are trying to use non-formal education methods, like with small manifesto, with some small seminars, but the people we are reaching is not much as our target. So, but something positive, there are as the time passes, more and more people are involving in these movements, and more and more people are started to question the meaning of democracy, meaning of human rights, meaning of liberalization, meaning of freedom. Like, for example, freedom of opinion. Before we were thinking that in Turkey YouTube is censored, for example.
Yes, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yes. For example, young people, me, when I was in France, when somebody told me YouTube is censored in your country is not, I was telling that no, this is normal because they are putting some bad videos about Atatürk and this should be censored.
Okay.
And now after like 5-6 years, not 4 or 5 years, my opinions completely changed. I think censor is something which is completely not acceptable. It is against freedom of opinion, freedom of speech, and it is against human rights.
Yes.
For example.
Okay.
Do you work with the EU, or is it just are you just independent?
Yes, we are when we make projects like yours, we get funds from European Union, for example.
This is one big point for you. Everything is based on the EU for you. It's central.
No, EU is our instrument to emphasize and focus on human rights, democratization, I don't know, liberalization, to inform people how to be a good citizenship. EU is a just instrument.
Okay.
Our aim is active citizenship for young people.
It's just a means to achieve something else.
Yes, and EU is a good role, and we like to follow this. And our association is not pro-European or contra-European, but the system of Europe, this acquis communautaire, is a good role model for Turkey to follow.
Okay.
But why federalist? If you're called the young European.
Actually, the federalist is not our name. There are some associations in JEF which are not federalists. We are one of them.
Yes.
We are not. It is about European federalists, and first we need to be a part of Europe, and after deepen the idea of federalization in Europe. So first of all, we need to get the values of European Union, and then we will see about the federalization.
How do you explain this paradox? You have the Europeanization of the Turkish society, and on the other side you have the rise of the Islamism. How do you explain that?
He says that he doesn't believe that Islamization is something that much important to be focused on. When Atatürk founded that country, it was on westernization of the country. It's a heritage of Ottoman Empire. It is the westernization of Ottoman values to West.
But the AKP is the first non-laic party, political party to have the power since Atatürk. So there is a change.
Actually, we cannot recognize AKP as a non-laic party. If they call themselves as like the Christian Democrats in Germany is the same like Muslim Democrats in Turkey. They don't have any agenda like anti-laicism or something like this. Yes, they are a little bit more radical Islamist than others, but this is something similar to like Christian parties in Europe.
But I also read that before you were taught at school like to like your country and the nation is something big for you, but you were never taught Islam and how to practice religion, but now it's been introduced into the program for child. Is it true or false?
There is no class for Islam. It is something which is like since the beginning of the foundation of Turkish Republic, we have like classes about history, literature, and religions, the culture of religions.
Okay.
And it is still the same class. It's still the same. Yes.
There was no change, no radicalization in those classes.
No.
Okay. Okay. So thank you very much, Ferhat and Mr. Bazar, for coming here. It was very interesting. The translation was a bit hard, but very interesting. Thank you very much.
Thank you.